Hi, my name is Dallin, and what is your name?
My name is Ken.
Nice to meet you, Ken.
Nice meeting you.
Hi, my name is Finn, and what's yours?
Mark, nice to meet you, Finn.
Hello, my name is Sophia. What is your name?
Hi, my name is Shay. Pleasure to meet you, Sophia.
Pleasure to meet you too. I'm Zeph Samperl, and who are you?
My name is William Pierce.
Nice to meet you.
Nice to meet you.
I'm going to be interviewing you today. First question, who is your hero?
My hero, one of the main ones, is an old-time baseball player that I hope some of you have heard of him, Ted Williams. Anybody know the name Ted Williams?
I think I've heard of him before. Why is he your hero?
Well, when I was growing up and I was about your age, I was always the skinniest guy in my neighborhood. And when Ted Williams came up in 1939, they called him the Splendid Splinter. Splendid Splinter.
Why did they call him that?
Because he was so thin.
I thought the hardest part was interviewing because if you paused between the interview, it didn't look good. And if you didn't ask follow-up questions, then you wouldn't be, it would just be like you're pausing. And
He was one of the best hitters that there's ever been in baseball.
Does he have a record?
He has an enormous record. He hit .406.
I thought it was fun, like while they were talking, like to be like that's interesting, like hearing all these people's like stories.
So when he would come to Philadelphia, where I lived at the time, my mother would let me go out, sometimes even skip school, to go out and see the Red Sox. And I happened to be there in his rookie year in 1939. And I saw him hit a home run.
Whoa.
And in 1981, remember I said 1939, I saw him hit this home run. In 1981, I was in Florida at the Red Sox training camp, and he was there. And I yelled down, "Hey, Ted, I saw you hit a home run in Philadelphia in 39 and win the game." He was out on the field. And he looked up and he said, "You didn't see that, you read about it." And I said, "Oh yeah, I'll tell you where it hit," because I remembered where the ball actually hit. And when I told him where he hit, he came over, and for about 1 minute, I had my great hero right there talking to me personally. And it was like I was filled with goosebumps the whole time I was talking to him. And pretty soon a lot of people came around, how they do. And he started talking baseball. And this man had hit 521 home runs. And he remembered every home run.
And also like being able to be like thinking of questions and asking a question like that you feel really great about, like you really made a difference.
We just lived for baseball. That's what we did, you know.
My favorite part, I liked interviewing because I got to talk to someone I'd never met before, and I got to learn about their life.
A lot of my heroes are my family, my children, for example. And my wife and my mother were big heroes of mine as well.
And why would they be your hero?
Well, for a lot of the same reasons. They do things to help other people. But some of the other things that make people my heroes is they're like what I call tough. In other words, when bad things happen to them, they don't let it ruin their day, they don't let it ruin their life. They just say, "I'm going to find a way around this." For example, my father died when I was very young, and I had 5 brothers and sisters. So my mother had to raise 6 children all by herself. And you have to be tough to do that, because I was really good and kind of never got in any trouble. But my brothers and my sisters, they were difficult. So my mother had to be tough to do that. Plus she had to be committed, and she had to be loyal to her family because there was nothing that she wouldn't do for her family.
I had a hard time, I guess, because for some people it was harder, but I just thought of questions in my head and I just went on. Like whatever question popped in my head, I'd just say.
My hero is my grandfather.
Why is he your hero?
Well, when I was younger, I was not really good at working, you could say. I wouldn't say I was lazy as much as I just didn't want to, get out there and do the hard physical work, and I would rather be inside reading or, playing games or something. And one day he pretty much sat me down and said, "Shay, when I was your age, we were taught to work and to like to work." And he pretty much changed my way to look at things right there, which is to look at work not as something boring, but to look at it as an enjoyable pastime, a productive pastime, as it were. So he's really sort of shaped me into being a good, hard worker today.
So he didn't just help you, he helped other people too.
Yes.
Does he still help other people?
After his wife, my grandmother, passed a couple of years ago, he moved into a different kind of business. Before, he'd been very much product business, bringing people things. He was the milkman back when we had milkmen. He was a milkman, and he did ice deliveries, and he used to cart people around in a bus. But now he rents properties. He owns houses and he rents them to people, and so nowadays he spends a lot of time building and fixing houses and making them livable for people, which is really nice.
Well, I learned that it's not as easy as you think. It takes a lot of planning and time.
Who is your hero?
Who's my hero? Well, when I was a kid, or right now, or right now, who are my heroes?
Anytime, your
Anytime.
childhood, your
Oh yeah, okay.
or right now, even if you
Right
want.
now.
Anybody
Well,
that's real.
Anybody that's real? Okay,
Yeah.
it can't be like a superhero.
No.
No. Okay. Well, I think I like a guy named Dennis Kucinich. I like him. He's a politician, and he's. I've met him, and he believes in what he says. And
What's an example of what he said? Why do you believe in him?
well, because he likes peace, for the world. I like that. And he's a very brave guy. As far as heroes go, I admire people that put forth a lot of effort to make things better, and that they, sometimes people sacrifice a lot to do that. People can just sit home and watch TV and do, not care about what's going on in the world or whatever. But some people go out there and try really hard to change things or to make things better. Sometimes they win the Nobel Prize for Peace, things like that.
Thank you for coming.
Sure, thank you for letting me be interviewed.
Thank you for your time.
You're welcome. Thanks for having me.
Well, thank you for coming today.
You're very welcome. Thank you for having me.
Thank you, Ken, for your time.
You're welcome, Dallin. It's a pleasure to be here.
Hello, my name's Claudia. What's your name?
My name is Amy Kovic.
Hi, my name's Kai. What's your name?
My name's Mark.
Hi, my name's Emily. What's your name?
My name is Alan.
Well, I want to thank you for coming, and I have a question for you. Hello, my name is Sophie. I was wondering if I could ask you a few questions today about your hero. Would you like that?
Sure, I'd love it.
So, are you okay with me asking you a few questions?
Absolutely, I'd be happy to answer them for you.
Hi, my name is Alan, and what is your name?
My name is Eric Berglund. I used to be a sergeant in the United States Army. The uniform I'm wearing today was from when I was training American soldiers to fight against the Russians in Central Europe.
I will be asking you a few questions about your hero today. Is that okay?
Yes.
Who is your hero?
I would have to say my biggest hero would be Tammy Jocelyn.
Do you have any heroes?
Do I have any heroes? Sure. I have some heroes. My heroes would probably be my mom and my grandmother.
It feels a little nervous at first because you're on the street just going to random people and asking them, will you want to be in an interview? And the interview is all about your heroes. So you gotta be brave, like stand out to yourself.
My hero, my biggest hero really is my father.
Why is your father your hero?
Well, I remember when I was younger, he was doing a lot, taking care of the family, of course, but also working hard. And he was involved in the civil rights movement here in New Hampshire. And I remember him being involved and standing up for what he believed in. And that has always stuck with me.
Well, my hero would be my father.
And why is he your hero?
Well, he raised a family of 6 of us in inner city Boston on a very modest income, and he always gave us everything that we needed. We moved around a lot, but we always stuck together, and he just was a great dad.
Who's your hero?
Well, my first hero would be my dad,
Why is he your hero?
because my dad was not only a hard worker, he taught us how to be respectful, especially to elderly people, and to I don't know, just help people. My dad was always helping people. He was very generous.
Well, she has taught me a lot about being a servant, serving others, loving others, and just caring for people in general. And I don't know, it's really cool. Like, she's taught me like so many different things about life and people, and I don't know, she's just all around incredible.
Today I learned that you have to be patient, and you also have to be aware of when the camera is rolling and when it is not rolling. Because I had an interview that was half through, and then we learned it was not rolling. And also that there are a lot of really nice people, but some may just not look appealing to you, but you have to take those risks.
My mom had the challenge of raising me as a single parent, which is really hard. Now that I have kids, I can tell you that it's hard enough with 2 than just having 1. And she worked hard and helped support me and helped me become the person I am today.
Well, my hero was and always will be my sister-in-law. Her name was Sharon Raymond, and she was a nurse for many, many, many years. And she fought a very brave battle with breast cancer. And she was so strong and so loving and caring, and we all just loved her so much, and how she lived her life and treated her family and treated other people is what made her my hero.
Well, I have several, but the first few that come to mind right now are my parents. I'm living all the way across the country from them right now, and I think of them a lot because I don't see them as often as I usually would.
I learned that when you're the interviewer, that you don't like when you kind of, when they're talking, you think of a question, because like if you don't have a question in your mind and you're like oh, and then you ask a question, you just asked it, and you're like, oh right, and then you end, it doesn't like sound.
Well, she kind of mothers me in a way. She's not my like real mom or anything, but she acts like a mom, which is good. So she's always able to give me wisdom when I question things, and she's always there to teach me and then tell me things that I'm doing wrong, but do it in a way that it's okay that she's telling me. And she's very caring, and she's really, really good at teaching me things.
Well, I love my mom and dad. I think that they're both really good parents, and they've both individually inspired me in life, and my family is just really important to me.
I have lots of heroes in the Army, but many heroes are just regular folks that raise their children and are good parents, and their kids are good kids, and those are heroes. But I had one in the Army. His name was Colonel Hamby. He's a good man.
Do you know why he was your hero?
Well, he enlisted in the Marines as a infantryman, as an enlisted guy in the Korean War. He fought from the Pusan perimeter up to the Chinese border and back through the Choson Reservoir, accepted a commission, fought with the Army of North Vietnamese as an American advisor in 1966 as the sole American amongst Vietnamese, ended up as a colonel at Fort Irwin, and I had the privilege of being his driver.
How did he make a difference to you as your hero?
Well, he made a difference to me. All heroes, great or small, whether they're in the Army, they don't talk about things. They lead by example. They lead a quiet example. They don't ask others to do things that they haven't done or wouldn't do themselves. So they're not preaching or trying to convince anyone that they need to do something. They show them what to do, and then people follow them.
Today I learned that you need today Claudia didn't really want to interview because she was too scared and nervous, but in the end she did it, and I learned that you have to overcome your fear. You have to sort of keep going and keep going. You have to push yourself to sort of get there, because if you stay right there, then you won't learn anything.
My hero is my sister. And the reason she's my hero is because she's a very successful teacher, and she's a very successful mom, and she's just a really great person.
Mm-hmm. How did she become a teacher, or
what makes her a good teacher?
Yeah, what makes her a good teacher?
So she does a really good job of making her, engaging her class and making what they need to learn really, really interesting. And she's helped kids who live in the city, and have a lot of challenges in their life become what we call in our class scholars, and really, really focused learners who are excited and are achieving their goals and are having a lot of success.
I learned that if you make a mistake, you make a mistake and you can't erase it. And I made a mistake and I was really embarrassed, but I just kept on going through, and it ended up better than a mistake.
Wow.
Thank you for coming.
Well, thank you for having me.
Well, thank you for coming.
Well, thanks for asking me.
Well, thanks for coming.
Thank you so much.
All right, bye.
Bye-bye.
Thank you, Eric.
You're welcome.
So first, I just want to thank you all for coming here today. It's wonderful to have young people here in our building. So sometimes people are a little nervous when they come into the nursing home because they feel like the people that live here might be a little bit different than the people that you know in your life. And so what I want you to see when we go through the building is that they really aren't.
Yes, when I was growing up, my oldest brother was my hero.
Why was he your hero?
Well, he was in the Navy during World War II, and that's what inspired me to join the Navy as soon as I got old enough.
You feel nervous at first, but then when you really get into it, you really meet the person. You can still be nervous, but you have to keep going and keep asking questions and have to stay on topic. Like, you can't ask, like, what was his favorite position, or what was his favorite food.
Who was my hero? Well, there's a lot of them. All the guys that I served within the service, I would call them all heroes.
Everyone has sad moments. I learned that the person that you're interviewing can get really emotional, and when I was filming, you have to sort of zoom in on those emotions so the person that sees it can really feel how they're feeling and that the sad moments can overtake them.
11 guys went on that patrol. And when they came back, I said, what did you find out? And they told me, I said, well, where's Frank? Well, this is a sad part of the story. Frank got killed. And until this day, I can see him. And I pray for him every day. But he wasn't the only one. There was a lot of them. And it's hard for me to talk about it because it's too horrible.
And they really want to get things out of them. Like sometimes something's sad and they really want to say it to somebody, but they have nobody to say it to. So I think it was really nice to just get it out.
When I was really young, I had a brother that passed away, and it was very difficult for my mom. And watching my mother go through keeping life going on with life, and keeping happy, and just moving on, and it's hard to explain.
I never knew really how hard it was to think of questions right on the spot, because sometimes it would you just can't think of them, but I think you guys handled it really well.
I learned that when you're the interviewer, that if you forget what to say next, then you should really quickly think of a question, because when they're talking, you should be listening to what they're saying, but also thinking of the next question that you're gonna ask them.
I learned that that a person doesn't have to do something that helped a lot in the entire world to be somebody's hero.
And I noticed what Jonah noticed, which is you had each other's backs, literally. You were right there with each other, whispering questions or ideas, because sometimes you got stuck, right? Sometimes somebody would say something and a question just wouldn't come to you, and that there would always be somebody there with an idea.
Yes, I did, and I still do, and my hero is my mom.
Why was she your hero?
Well, she was a strong woman, and she's been through a lot, and she's a survivor, and she's taught me how to just keep a happy spirit and keep going on no matter what life brings. And she's been a very positive influence on my life.
Well, when we were at the Edgewood and I interviewed someone that had not shared a story with anyone else before, and I thought it was really cool to be, wow, I'm the first person that ever brought that up with them. And so it was really, really fun to do that. Yeah. And there were some really, really, really good interviews that I liked. So it was just fun getting to bring those up. Oh, that's a really cool story. And oh, that's a really cool story. And then it could have been never ending. So.